Hi everybody and welcome back to the Upside Down. I got to see Deadpool and Wolverine in the 4DX movie theater experience, and I'm here to tell you if it's worth it in the format. Before I get started, please make me your 4DX guy by subscribing to my YouTube channel, liking this video, and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss any more 4DX content from me. As always, remember to stick to the end to see my final verdict on whether Deadpool and Wolverine is worth it in the 4DX format. So there was an issue with my screening. At first, I was getting nervous. I was like, we better be able to see this movie, even if it's not in 4DX. The trailers were like, the frame rate, or whatever that's called, I'm not really that technical with that stuff, was off. Audio was good, but it was almost like it was trying to be 3D but wasn't. And some of these trailers didn't need to be 3D anyway. Some of it was blurry and you would put your glasses on thinking that it was, oh, it's already in 3D, but it's not. They did fix it, and then the movie started. 20 seconds into the movie cut off, which got me really nervous, but then they did get it back on. They started from the beginning of the movie, you know, with the Marvel logo. So I was very happy with that. I'm glad that they got it going. But I'm wondering if the 4DX aspects were off because of that. Most of it felt like it fit, but there was definitely more downtime than I expected, not just in the movie, but stuff that they could have used the 4DX with, they didn't. I don't know if that was because the screening was weird at first and not everything was working well. And there was times where the seats weren't moving and the capabilities within the seat didn't seem to be working when they could have. Yes, there is some downtime literally in the movie where people are just talking. There's just exposition, or there's emotional moments, down moments. But there's even times during that, or other times where they could have used the 4DX capabilities and I didn't really feel them or notice them. That's my theater. Did enough to kind of give a verdict, but kind of give that disclaimer that I don't know, but maybe all the 4DX capabilities weren't really working up to their capacity like they usually would. So keep all that in mind, you know, as kind of a disclaimer with my verdict. As to be expected with a comic book film, there's a lot of action in this movie, and the seats are moving along with all of that. This is a really violent and gory and bloody movie. The action scenes are really fun. Just film-wise, they're really well put together, I thought. Characters are getting knocked back, thrown against stuff, they're getting knocked down, they're falling down. You feel the rumbles, the vibrations, the massagers in your back. A lot of it really went along with this action on screen very seamlessly, I thought. There's a standout scene, no spoilers. Characters are getting like shocked, like an electrical shock, kind of like that. You'll understand when you see it. The seats were going absolutely insane. It's one of the most intense scenes, definitely a standout scene. The seats are vibrating, moving forward, backward, right, left. They're moving all over. And then there's an explosion that happens and the seats are move wildly with that. I heard a lot of reactions from the crowd. The crowd was really satisfied with that. So Dogpool, there's a few scenes of him running or jumping, running towards someone slow motion. I thought that was really well done actually. The seats are kind of rocking back and forth along with this dog's movements. There's running, there's vehicle stuff, so people are driving, people are riding, hand-to-hand combat, weapons being used. Along with the weapons being used, the weapons that are actually shot off, the explosions and everything, you're feeling the little puffs of air at your neck and ears. There's some rapid fire air at your neck and ears even. There's stuff at your ankles. All the seat movements and the capabilities are really done well. The wind, along with the traveling scenes, like the vehicle scenes. You see some of it in the trailer, but there's like Mad Max-like vehicles. No roofs. The wind is going with that. The wind is going with some establishing shots because there's a lot of outdoor stuff. The wind is going, and I was very happy with that because it was a packed auditorium and it was really hot before the movie began. The fog was used a few times. Dust is settling or dust is shooting up. Explosions and stuff like that. It's only a couple times. I didn't notice it that much. Of course, obviously not as much as Twisters or Furiosa, but the fog is used a couple times at really good points in the movie that make sense. I noticed some lights with some electrical shocks. A little detail. It helps. The lights were used a few different times, you know, with different weapons. Lights and fog are definitely not the biggest standouts in this film, but they're used. Scent, I didn't notice it during the film, but I noticed it like after, like during the credits. Not even like during anything happening in the credits. And then like at the end, like when the movie was completely done. Another thing, and that's water. I don't recall water. There's probably some areas that it could have been. Water isn't the biggest thing involved in this film, especially with the area that they're in most of the runtime. It's kind of a dry desert, Mad Max-like place. It's probably just my auditorium. You probably got maybe some water. I did not notice any. So for the 3D, I honestly could take it or leave it. There was definitely some good uses. It definitely enhanced the perception of depth at times. Weapons were being thrown at the camera. I don't love 3D anyway. For this one, definitely take it or leave it. I wish it wasn't in 3D. For me, at least, if a movie's in 3D, all of my 4DX showings are 4DX 3D, but other places might be different, so you might be able to select between a 3D showing or a 2D showing. Other than the Avatar films, and some of the recent animated movies actually, but really other than the Avatar films, I'm not that impressed with 3D anyway, and I don't really like it, because I have to wear glasses over my glasses. I know that's probably a nitpick, and that has nothing to do with the 3D aspect, and also I just don't notice it that much unless it's an Avatar film. One, If Twisters is still in 40X anywhere near you, go see Twisters. I definitely recommend Twisters in 40X 100%, and pick Twisters in 40X over this in 40X. I think I finally settled on Twisters being like my favorite 40X experience. That movie was just made to be seen in 40X, and 40X was just made to play a movie like Twisters. It might not be anywhere anymore in 40X, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, because I love Deadpool and Wolverine, and I love Deadpool and Wolverine as a movie more than Twisters. But I just think the 40X experience for Twisters was phenomenal. Now, I will say though, again with that disclaimer, that my theater may have not been working, that I may have not felt all the capabilities, that sometimes it felt like they could have used capabilities and they didn't. With that disclaimer, I do still think that this is a fun time in 40X. But I don't think that it's a definite, unless you absolutely love 40X, and any movie that comes to 40X you're going to see in 40X, and you're going to see this in 40X no matter what. It could just be my auditorium that wasn't working as well as it could have been, and maybe yours is a phenomenal time in 40X. It's still a recommend. It's not as strong of a recommend, but I do recommend seeing Deadpool and Wolverine in theaters if you're a comic book fan in any capacity, to be honest. I definitely recommend seeing this in theaters no matter what the format, but it's not my favorite 40X experience, but it's far from my least favorite. I just think it could have been my auditorium. Let me know down in that comment section what you thought of Deadpool and Wolverine as a film. Keep it spoiler free, or at least label it spoilers. If you saw it in 40X, what did you think of it in the format? Let me know down in that comment section. If you've liked what you've seen here and you want to see some more content from me, please click around here to see some other content from me. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video with the movie fans in your life. Hit that notification bell, subscribe, make me your 40X guy, and come to the upside, Dan.